Yeah, I'm curious if you want to share what was your your biggest transformation or takeaway that you have from participating in the SAS.
Yeah, the biggest takeaway is just being held by the group uh, during the certification. The first one when I didn't certify, because what happened was, in my sense of despair and failure, of which my life is full of them, like all of us have moments of failure, that being held by the group was a transformative experience. And learning the skills in the SAS of the 5 principles of basically surrendering, noticing my sensations, which are quite intense at that moment when I'm in the group with this sense of failure in me.
Mm.
And the rest of the group is there supporting me, inviting me to share, and I don't have to hide and run away. So I'm just feeling touched now, feeling into that moment of, hey, it's possible to transform here. I don't have to put my head under the table and hide. I can just be here and show up. And in that showing up, there's transformation possible as others are reaching in and supporting me and inviting me to be where I'm at. And so that's probably the biggest transformation that happened, was in the greatest, failure from my point of view.
Yeah, I remember you sharing something earlier also about this kind of like newfound ability to, I think you named it as staying with the middle part of you, the part that stays and not pulls back from your experience.
Right. So a sense that these childhood habits that I've had of either running away or trying to quickly do something so I don't have to show up. So that's kind of the middle part of me that's kind of silent, but it decides in which direction I'm moving. Am I moving toward experience, toward life, toward relationality, or am I moving away from it? Or am I kind of frozen, which is a third option that I've been in at times. So through the relationality of being with others in the SAS, the coaching calls and the buddy circles and quads and all those things, there's a sense that this middle part of me feels invited to show up, plus with the tools and the principles, invited to change that pattern. And so changing that pattern opens the door to every moment of my life being a possible transformative moment as I show up and I no longer follow those habits to move away or freeze or hide, to be curious and to bring that curiosity through practice, through experience. It's now there's a joy in my body that I'm feeling right now in my solar plexus there's a joy in connecting and moving forward into connection that invites me to do it the next time and the next time.
Yeah. Yeah, I have the sense, like when you share this, like imagine for you, like with the experience you've had in connection with people in the SES, there's been like almost like a rewiring and just more safety and more openness towards what's happening, whether it's like moments of like deep connection or whether it's moments of challenging connection or challenging feelings. Like an expansion of your range there.
Right. And always learning, like feeling like a beginner yesterday in a conversation where it didn't go the way I wanted. And I'm just going, well, I have more learning to do, more humility, more showing up in a more innocent way. And just enjoying that. It's like I don't have to feel like I did something wrong or bad. It's just the curiosity to emerge into the next moment. Yeah.
Wow. Mm.
So a sense even of trust in myself more, a sense of calling for help when I need it to others, like I can invite others to support me. So it's building naturally skills like that that are not explicitly taught, but they just emerge from the experience.
Yeah. Yeah, I have to say, when I hear you share that, like my experience with the practice has been similar, or the effect of being in the practice on how I show up, and yeah, it's definitely very impactful and transformative for me.
Yeah, I'm kind of interested in in your view, how that's affected you. It feels like that may impact me, and yeah. So the sense of curiosity coming out now, that's the other, is beginning to trust that curiosity in me. And I'm naturally wanting to ask you, and I'm following that. And that's happening in my life more too. And I actually do want to know right here as well. Yeah.
Hmm. Yeah, it's like it's almost like it's touching like a slight shyness in me. You're asking. Uh, yeah, I think it puts me into touch with my more vulnerable parts. I think the most important thing for me that happened with circling is when I look back at myself, like 8 years ago, before I started, I had done quite a bit of, yeah, let's say therapeutic work, more where it's more a practice of like seeing how I relate to myself, or things that happened in the past, and it was very, yeah, important to do that. But what was missing for me was my connection to other people, and so in that sense, felt very walled. I don't know if that makes sense. Like I had a lot of walls, very armored, with a lot of walls around me. So yeah, being in that type of direct connection with people was very difficult for me, and I felt very, very lonely and closed off. And a lot of it had to do with just feeling so unsafe in connection and having such intense fear of being rejected. And yeah, I remember my first circling experiences were like, whoa, like I saw what was possible, even though I was a bit on the, I had to say that I kept myself back a little bit in the beginning, but I could see what was happening in the space and with other people. And that really had me decide, like, I want to go in with this. And I did. And yeah, bit by bit, that's been so transformative for me. And I think another thing that it's really supported me with, that I find amazing, is that like this continuous practice of being really, really deeply present with what's actually there, and like taking my whole experience not as something that's happening against me, but it's there for like for guidance, or for like that there's information in there, and then yeah, bringing that curiosity there, exploring. I notice that in my work with people, there's this capacity to bring that presence also to others, and then that opening up a lot for the people I work with, and I find that's, yeah, so touching and rewarding. How was it for you that this SAS was online, like the online format?
Yeah, I haven't done one in person, so I don't know, and I'm sure it would be different. And I didn't feel I had an option for me, that I wanted to do it online. And What surprised me the most in the first one was noticing other participants who seemed to be able to feel what I was feeling, but I hadn't yet expressed or showed in body language or anything. And so even though in person it would make more sense that you can kind of read what somebody, because you're in the same room and there may be cues you pick up, to feel that that's actually there and that's invited and that's really part of the main learning is what is the subtext, what's underneath the surface, what am I feeling in presence with this other person or these other people, and that is the magic of the circling of the SAS for me, is tuning to that. And in the online, maybe it's even more surprising that comes through and that's so essential. So I would say that's probably the biggest gift of trusting my own experience includes picking up other people's experience and learning to sort what's mine and what's theirs, and how to bring it up to them without, while still owning it, even though it may not be mine. So that's the part that I wouldn't have expected the online to provide. That pretty much is the secret little Easter egg. You know, it's like, oh, I found an Easter egg, a secret present here, and that's the gift that I did not expect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there anything that you want to share with somebody considering to join an SAS?
I do, yeah. There's a sense in me of, if you're considering it, if I'm considering it again, I'm going to put myself in that situation. Suppose I were to do it again. For me, it's like, it's a commitment in me to be willing to be changed, to be willing to go through tsunamis and earthquakes and changes, but in a trusted environment. How often do you get a trusted environment to go through earthquakes and tsunamis that can change your life? So it's being willing to go through that. It's not just showing up, it's showing up with a surrender of giving everything up and knowing it's still going to be safe. So you can do both the hugest risk in the world and feel completely safe to transform.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Bruce.
Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah.